Okay, hey guys, this is Chris Mincolla with the Mincolla Group over at West USA Realty. We're doing our weekly Mincolla Group Live, and today we got a special guest with us. We've got HARLI KLEIN with Muscular Moving Men, and she's going to help us through understanding a little bit better how to get moved and tell us more about herself and why we like to partner with Muscular Moving Men. All right,
Thanks, Chris.
HARLI, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for doing this and coming on and helping out our clients.
Of course. Anytime.
You know, one of the biggest stresses I think in the whole process of getting started for people is especially once they get closer to the end. Especially is how am I going to move? Like, how does that work and the timing and everything? So, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But why is it? First of all, tell us a little bit about you and Muscular Moving Men and why Muscular Moving Men is so awesome.
Of course, Chris. So I'm HARLI. I have been with the company for about 7 months now. I am. There's two females who work there out of about 70 guys. So
Out of the Muscular Moving Men.
yes, it's very exciting. It's a very fun job. It's like having a ton of brothers hanging out with you all day. So it's a good time. Everyone's like family there. So I definitely enjoy it. So
Cool.
we are unique in multiple ways, Chris. The number one I can think of is the time and the effort that we put into our clients. So you had talked briefly, you had mentioned, the time frame that people question and things like that. We go above and beyond for our clients to make sure that this moving process is extremely smooth. So, for example, we hire all non-smokers. That's a huge thing for us. We don't want to drag that smell in and out of residents' homes. And another point of that is that we encourage health and fitness very heavily. So we don't want our guys to be smoking in general. We want to have
Right.
that brand name of a fit, healthy company, and that's what we really strive hard for, which is great. Another thing that we pride ourselves on is we pad and wrap everything. We disassemble and reassemble, and that's already all included in your move-in cost. So we're not going to charge you additional, to take your bed apart and put it back together. Whereas with similar moving companies, you may see that you will either be charged or they'll do the takedown, but they aren't doing the setup. Which
Yeah.
can you imagine, Chris, if you got your bed taken apart and then just dropped off at your house and you had to figure out how to get the IKEA set back together?
Yeah. That kind of stuff in the packing for me is like the worst part. You know.
Packing is rough, but thankfully we offer that service as well. And our guys are great at it. They're highly trained. They go through beginning, intermediate, and advanced training in packing, pad and wrapping, driving. How to carry things up and down the stairs. Like they'll retake all these courses to be as trained as possible. It's awesome.
All right. That's amazing. So they take apart everything, put everything back together. They'll shrink wrap everything as far
Yep.
as protecting all the furniture. And then if you need packing services, what about unpacking? How does that?
Yep. Yep, we will do that too. And a lot of people don't really think about this, or they think that like when they use a moving company that the guys are just going to come and drop everything off in the living room and head out. Don't You will never get that from Muscular Moving Men. We will gladly place your items where you want them. If you want box A in the master and box B, so that when it comes to unpack, you can just unpack in that room. You're not like, why is kitchen in my bedroom? We'll make sure to sort everything for you like that, and we do unpacking as well, as well as sorting out for you and packing and the moving and all of that.
That's amazing. So that would be like the dream move for me. I know I would pay extra for that. And so what so you guys do in-state, out-of-state, um, and kind of it's just unlimited what you guys do as far as where you go,
Yeah,
right?
so we do residential, commercial, and out of state moves.
Okay.
Uh, so no move is too big and no move is too small for Muscular Moving Men. We've got it all handled for you. Whatever they need, we can make it happen.
What would you say is one of the biggest things that would set you apart from other companies that you may deal with on a daily basis? Maybe people coming from other companies, or things like that.
I have to say that it's our dedication and our passion to our clients. Like, it's not just like a one and done thing. We don't want to do your move and call it a day and never hear from you again. Like, we want you to join our Facebook family, our Instagram family, our Twitter family. Like, we want to follow your life and see how your move went. We call after the move, Chris, the day after, one day after, and we call and get feedback to see how everything went while it's still fresh in their mind.
That's
Um,
all.
a lot of companies don't do that.
Yeah,
We're not calling for any incentive or anything. We genuinely just want to know that the customer's move went as smooth as we promised it would. That's all we aim for with that. And if it didn't, we're able to correct it. And that's what makes us so great, is that we're open to hearing these suggestions that people give us, and we've implemented plenty of them. So our client's voice is huge for us, and I think that some other companies, moving companies in particular, may lack that.
that's a big one. That's a big one. It shows you guys really care, before, during, and after the process, and getting things straight up for the customer. And hey guys, thanks for joining us. If you guys have any questions for Harley, make sure you jump in. We're talking about moving with Harley KLEIN, again, with Muscular Moving Men. And one of the most stressful parts of buying or selling a house is having to move. So we wanted to make sure we brought in an expert on this, and that's why we've got Harley here today. And Muscular Moving Men, they're pretty amazing. One of the other things I know that's really big is the timing. The timing of, like, should I, for us, we're constantly being asked, when can I schedule the movers and utilities, all that kind of stuff. And, we have a certain point where we tell people to do that. But for you guys, how does that work on your end? Like, how much time do you need, or what would you recommend as far as timing and stuff like that? Because for us, closing dates and stuff, as far as people purchasing a home, even though we set a date up front, that date could change by a couple of days sometimes, just depending on where we are in a deal.
So the cool thing about our company, Chris, is that we don't just have a marketing team or just a sales team. We all come together to make situations like that possible for your clients. So you said, for example, that the time frame is a huge question. You will have your closing date, and then it changes 2 days later, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? I scheduled the movers. We have people who are trained specifically in real estate who are very aware of these situations. So because of that background that we provide, we're able to have that knowledge with the client. So we're more than aware that can happen. And we make those adjustments and those arrangements so that they're not stressed, and so that they're not, panicking at last minute that they feel like they're going to lose movers. We recommend, Chris, that people call at least 2 weeks before. Okay. That's ideal. That's like the dream, that somebody would call 2 weeks before. Um, but there's people who call the day of, the day prior. My movers bailed on me. They can't come. I need somebody. And Chris, since I've been there in 7 months, I have yet to hear us tell somebody we can't make it happen. We will
Right.
always make it happen. So 2 weeks
Yeah.
is ideal, but we're willing. 3 to 5 to 7 days is pretty common. We push the 2 weeks again is standard. But if it's not feasible, don't hesitate to call or reach out. We'll still be more than happy to give you a quote and try and get you on the schedule, even if it's in a short amount of time.
So if someone even calls you within 24 to 48 hours in a panic, you're gonna try to make it work.
We are going to bend over backwards to do everything we can to get them on the schedule. Obviously, if it's completely booked and we've got nothing, we've got nothing. But
Right.
this company will go above and beyond to make sure that somebody's moving process goes smoothly, which is what I love.
Awesome. What would you say the average cost would be to somebody then, for an average move? Again, I understand, like, some people have pianos and some don't, and that kind of stuff. So what would be kind of an average price for in-state and out-of-state? Kind of looking at that.
Got it. So
or even commercial.
It's tough to give like a standard price for commercial as well as for out of state. So for commercial, for example, the price of that is based on, you know, how many offices are we moving, and it more calculates into it than just an hourly rate. But the cool thing about our commercial division is we actually do it off hours. So your office is not going to be affected at all if you do need us to move it for you. Your workday is not going to be interrupted. You'll be able to continue on as nothing ever happened, and we'll be there the next night to get that move going for you. As far as out of state goes, the price of those moves are based on the weight of the items that we're moving for you strictly. So that's not an hourly based rate. That's based on what we're taking from point A to point B from you. And and mind you, I think it's important to let people know too that if you live in another state and you want to use us, we'll go there and help and get what you need taken care of and bring you back here, or we'll go from Arizona to California or vice versa. Just because we may not have locations out there, we do service all of those areas.
Right.
And yeah, and as far as residential goes, so how I like to put this into words is the best way. And like you said, the average price, it's going to be 60 cents per square foot. But for those watching, if you're like Chris and you don't want to pack, then you're going to be paying about $1.20 per square foot on average, which by the look on his face, you can see it's probably worth it.
Totally worth it.
To not have to pack. So that is standard. Aside from the moving aspect, like we have like those, that's our moving that we offer, and then we have on-site storage, which is very important for people who are in the middle of escrow, because
Yeah.
you have got your stuff lingering from point A to point B, and you're like, what do I do with it for 2 weeks? I don't want to pay, you know, $300 at a unit when I only need it here for a couple of weeks. So
Right.
not only do we offer on-site storage in a climate-controlled facility, but for your clients, Chris, too, we'll actually give them the first month of their storage free. So how that works essentially is if they move in on September 1st, then their September 1st to September 31st is free. Um, Aside from some minor details that when they wanted to sign up for storage, they could go over. Or if they move in on the 15th, then they have 16 days free. So the prorated price is covered on us.
That's
So,
awesome.
so
Yeah.
I push to get it in on the 1st, so you get your first month free and you can utilize it. I really think people should do that. And it helps a lot. I've noticed that a lot of times I hear people say, like, I don't know what to do with my stuff. I'm in a bind. Like, I'm in the middle. You know, the storage unit wants me here for a month at minimum. Like, we won't do any of that. We'll do overnight storage, 2-day storage, whatever you need. We're gonna work it out for you.
Yeah, and sometimes that works for buyers and sellers on our end, because somebody just has stuff that they want to declutter out of the house, but they don't want to get rid of, so they want to store some stuff for 30 days or so during escrow, or when we go to list the house, so it doesn't look so cluttered, and that's a huge help. That's a huge savings for them and creates some great value.
And we offer that for realtors as well, who are, selling a home that, I know staging is huge. So a lot of people need storage when it comes to staging. That's something that we're going to offer as well to help out with. So we're very, if you can't tell, we're very flexible, and we're all about the client. We want to make sure that the most stressful time in your life is a little less miserable because you hired us.
Yeah, well, and that's awesome, because it's so stressful for a lot of people. I think for most people, it's just a big part of it. So also, so you said for our clients, we could do the 30-day storage. The what is it, 10% on an average discount?
Yep. So again, the storage is we're covering the prorated amount. So if you move in on the 1st, which, like I said, I would utilize that. If you need storage, you might as well get your money's worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we cover the prorated amount, whether you move in on the 1st or the 30th, and you know what I mean. So we'll cover that. We are going to give your clients, Chris, 10% off of their move as well. So that actually comes out to a lot for sure. That works out well. We'll offer a free on-site. So if our sales office calls and they give them a quote, but they're like, you know what, I feel like you have a lot of stuff, so maybe we should get somebody out there, I'm going to offer your clients as well a free on-site estimate. So we will send somebody out there. We have an on-site expert actually who is very well trained in inventory and things like that when it comes to moving, and they will come out and they will give you a more precise quote essentially if you have a ton of items. And I'm also going to provide them with a free packing supply kit. So to get them started, we'll give them 20 free boxes, small, medium, large, some tape, just to get going and kind of take some of that pressure off. Because if you ever tried to find boxes before, Chris,
Yeah.
it is very frustrating.
Yeah. No, that's a huge help. And one other thing we're doing is we're partnering with you guys. And oh, what happened? We lost you. Oh, I think we lost her. Well, let's see if we can get her back on here. Give me 1 second. Okay, well, maybe not. Well, one other thing that we're doing with Muscular Moving Men is we just started a new promo where we're going to be doing a $500 credit toward your move. So that's going to be a huge chunk. And see us for details on that to see if that works out for you. And we just want to make sure we make the process of moving, whether you're buying or selling or both, as stress-free as possible. Let me just check and see one more time here if we can get her back on. Okay. Well, guys, I don't think I don't want to keep you on here too long. So I think we lost her. I'm not sure what happened there with the connection, but we'll definitely have Harley back again. And if you guys have, oh, here she is. She just came back.
I think I'm back. It booted me out for some reason. I apologize. It literally.
I just started telling them real quick about the $500 credit towards. Okay. Yes. Do you want to tell them about that real quick and just?
Yeah. So essentially, whatever lender you go through or choose to go through, we will give them your clients if they do the move through you. Or your lender, and if they complete their move with us, then we move them from one home to another. We will give them a $500 credit towards their move. So it's like $500 off towards their move.
That's a pretty big chunk. That's a pretty big.
Because if you want to put in the numbers, the average move is about $1,000.
Okay.
So if you cut that in half, you see how awesome that would be.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, how many guys does that that's another question we get sometimes, and people asking us and for those kind of details. How many guys does that usually give them then on a move?
So it varies. Our average that we use is 2 men, 1 truck.
Okay.
So that's about the average that we use. It depends on the amount of items that you have that would base whether you needed 3 guys. Some people want 3 guys. They want to get the job done faster, so they'll request 3 men.
Yeah.
So we do our best to assign the appropriate amount of men to your move, but we are flexible if somebody is like, hey, I would like 3 guys out here. I think that's what we need or whatnot.
Well, can you give us just one more tidbit here, and that would be like any tips, tricks, or ideas as far as preparing for the move.
Of course.
And for you guys coming, but in moving in general.
Yeah.
Or some things to maybe even avoid.
So the first thing that I want to say is before you move, declutter, declutter, declutter. The last thing you want to do is just dump your junk drawer out in a box and take it with you to the new house so you can put it in a new junk drawer. You want to make it feel like a fresh start. And we come in to help you do that. So a big piece of advice that I would like to give people is that have everything ready. So if you're packing boxes,
Right.
put all the boxes in one room where everything is going. So in my front room, everything will be going here. So I'm going to leave all the boxes I need in here, or in any room where everything is going. And then the things that you will not be taking, I recommend putting them in a separate room or in the garage, or moving them from the home, because then it ends up with things that you didn't want taken or ended up being taken. Then you got to declutter your new house. We don't want that to happen at all.
They use the 30-day storage space,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have it sold by then. We
I
should.
know. Yep.
Awesome. So, and that's one of the biggest things for us too, is when we're selling a home, is decluttering. Not that it has to be completely empty, but just, the declutter and making sure it looks organized and clean.
And
And
have
that,
fun.
yeah,
Like that's like the thing that when I talk to clients, I really tell them when they're like, "Oh my gosh, I have to move. I'm freaking out." And I'm like, "Have fun. Like, we're coming out there. Our guys are energetic. They're bubbly. They have positive attitudes all the time. Like, have fun with it. Even if we're not there in the packing process, I'll go back to that since you love packing so much, Chris.
yeah,
Back to the packing. Make packing fun. The holidays are coming up. Put on your favorite, Halloween movie while you're packing. Trust me, it makes time go by so much faster. Put on your favorite music, have a friend join you. Like, it does not have to be a miserable experience. It should almost be an exciting one.
right.
You get to start over in a whole new place.
Kind of like an adventure. Exactly.
Exactly. And that's what we want this to be for you guys. We want your clients to have a fun and positive experience, even in the most stressful time that they could ever imagine. That is our goal.
Right. Same here. That's what we try to do, and you guys are a big help for that, obviously, with everything that you're doing with clients. So, is there anything else you can think of that we didn't cover that people may want to know, or for tips, tricks, or things to avoid?
So I think we essentially covered everything. Just the biggest thing is the timing. If you can't, if your clients cannot, or anybody watching for that matter, if you can't give a 2 week, heads up when it comes to your move, for the reason being that you don't know when your closing date is, I really recommend calling and giving us all your information and everything that's going to be needed in the move, even if you're not ready to book. Because then what happens, Chris, is we have all this information, you have everything locked and loaded. All you have to do is solidify a date. That is easier than setting a date and rescheduling it.
Yeah. We've got one here. So the mysterious box in the garage for 6 years probably does not need to go to the next.
So, Cynthia, I'm going to actually recommend that you probably empty your mysterious box out. But you may find something exciting in there, so you might want to take it. It's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things that, what is it? If you haven't used it in a year or 2 years or whatever, you probably maybe might want to think about getting rid of it, or don't need
Yeah.
it. Thing.
I also write, the blogs and stuff for us. So in a lot of my blogs, you'll notice I encourage the 365 rule. So if you haven't touched it in 365 days,
Yeah,
it's got to get the boot. Like, you
yeah,
don't, and in the long run, it's just going to save you money. It's less boxes, it's less items, it's less things that have to go. The more prepared that you are, it's going to save you a ton of money in the long run. Just like using a mover is going to save you a ton of money in the long run.
right.
So it's definitely beneficial.
Absolutely. Well, awesome information, fantastic energy, great company, and we love partnering with you. Obviously things like the storage, the discounts, and the partnering with you for the credit of the $500 credit are certainly bring a lot of value, along with the customer service and everything you guys do up front too. I love the idea of the extra boxes, like you said. It's so hard, scrambling around, or you got to go buy boxes or whatever, and it's like, where do you get all this stuff? Or you've got to pay this and that. So that's a nice starter kit. I love that. So.
Well, the fun thing, just a side note on that, Chris, is that most people don't, like, for an average home, might only use 20 to 30 boxes. So it's a huge foot in the door, and we'll offer different sizes. We'll accommodate the client as needed. So if that comes up, we can definitely make it so that it's working out for their household and what they need.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. How do they get in touch with you guys then?
So there's multiple ways. You can reach us on all forms of social media. We respond within the hour. You can call our office number, which is 602-923-6400. You can reach out to me directly. My email is just harley@muscularmovingmen.com. I'd be more than happy to get you set up. There's tons of different ways. You can go through Chris. Chris will call me. We have so many channels.
Awesome. Well, guys, of course, you know how to get in touch with us. It's 480-788-8569 or through social media, or you can reach us home at mincollagroup.com and mincollahomes.com or mincollagroup.com. We've got a lot of Mincollas in there. But in any case, thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thank you to Harley for all the great information and great value you guys bring, and all the help for our people who need to move. So whether you guys are looking to buy or sell a home, we highly recommend Muscular Moving Men, and we highly recommend you guys give us a call, give them a call, and we'll make it as stress-free as possible. All right.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Chris.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Harley.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.